The first time I stood on the street, one of the older women lifted my hand, adjusted my skirt and showed me how to strike a tempting pose. Only then could I compete with the girls next door. Suddenly, a man stopped in front of me. That was my first client. That night, the madam handed me a few notes. I had no interest in the money, so I set it on fire. That fire destroyed the purity I once had, but it shaped me into the woman who would rise as a new queen of the underworld in India. I was no longer Ganga, I was Gangu. I was once sold for $1, but over time I built my own power. On this street, if a girl refused to obey, the madam would come to me first, but I never chose to mistreat them. I gave them two choices, stay and earn, or buy their freedom and leave. But everyone knew the truth. Once a girl was sold here, her reputation was ruined, and even if she returned home, she could be sold again. Yet many naive girls still chose to leave. I could not speak against them, because I was once a rich man's daughter with a dream of becoming a film star. My boyfriend promised to help. He saved money, bought me a train ticket and told me his aunt was a powerful agent who would make me famous. I followed him to Bombay, to a dim old building. He left with an excuse, and two heavy men appeared. The door closed, and only then I realized I had been sold. I shouted until the lights went out. I was locked for 3 days and 3 nights. The madam finally came with a glass of water, her usual way to break the new girls. I refused to drink, even when she splashed it across my face and snatched away my only scarf. She said no one could survive a week here. I held on for 6 nights before I surrendered. Under the guidance of the other women on the street, I went through the motions, applying powder like a lifeless body, and stepped to the door to greet my first client. From that moment, I never smiled again. I worked relentlessly, finding every way to make men open their wallets, because I knew only strength could get me out of this hell. In just 1 year, the cheap trinkets I wore turned into gold, and I used my earnings to gain influence and loyalty.
Hey, ये तो सोने क्या?
तू पहनना मेरी जान. तू देखना कमली, अगले 5 साल में ना, ए पूरा कोठा खरीद लूंगी. One evening, the madam stormed in, urging the girls to get back to work. सब फिल्म देखने जाएंगी, गंगू के साथ. पूरा 1 साल हो गया मुझे आए.
ये अच्छा है. तुम लोग बाहर जाकर मजे लूटो और मैं यहाँ अपना नुकसान भुगतूं.
नफा नुकसान तो होता ही रहता सिला मसी. वैसे भी हर हफ्ते एक छुट्टी तो हर दफ्तर में मिलती है. तू भी लिया कर छुट्टी मसी. चलो लड़कियां. With a single command from me, the girls ignored the madam and walked away. At that moment, she knew her hold was broken, and mine had begun. What I didn't know was that her revenge would be so ruthless.